Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grammar in 1 Minute, live with me, Alexander. Now, we started a series of activities on grammar where last week we spoke on preposition. Now, as a way of a recap, I'm briefly going to use this opportunity to take you through all that we've done so far in the course of last week, so that you'll be abreast with how far we've come in regards to this very important element of grammar, that is preposition. Now, it is worth noting that when we say prepositions form a small but very important word class. Even though prepositions are very small, they form very, very important class of the English language. Now, they are the key to binding the subject of the sentence to the object of the sentence. Now, in order for us to show the relation between two nouns in a sentence, that is one functioning as the subject of the sentence and the other one functioning as the object of the sentence, in order for us to establish that relation between them, we use this key but very important group of words known as preposition. So we say we use preposition frequently. Now, last week, I did mention that we have about 150 prepositions in the English language. So when we talk of the English language, there are about 150 prepositions. But unfortunately, or fortunately, we only use 70 of these. So the common ones that we always use are 70. They are just 70. Now, prepositions are often called the biggest small words in the English language. So even though they are the smallest, but they play very, very significant and important role in the English language. That is what we said last week. As a way of recap, as I'm taking you through this overview, I'd like to encourage you to follow the command, kindly like, share, invite your friend to send in their comments and contributions. Okay, now we then proceed to look at some few examples of prepositions and then how to use them in sentences. We looked at some few examples of preposition and how to use them in sentences. So we looked at an example like the flask is on the bench. The flask is on the bench. Where I did mention that if we say the flask is on the bench, imagine we take out this very small but important word, which is on from the sentence, it becomes the flask, the bench. The flask, the bench. Now, you then need to understand that without the word preposition, which is the on in this particular sentence, it will be very difficult for us to understand what we are trying to say. So I walk up to you and I said, the flask, the bench. It doesn't make any sense because there's nothing showing the relation, or there's nothing bridging the subject of the sentence, which is the flask, to the bench. So the introduction of the word on in this particular sentence establishes that relation between the subject of the sentence and the object of the sentence. So the flask is on the bench. We again look at another example where we say the film is across the bench. The film is across the bench. The film is across the bench. Now, in the absence of the word across in the sentence is going to read, the film is from the bench. The film is from the bench, which literally does not make any sense. Now, we then proceed to look at some very key but important rules that we need to follow if we want to use prepositions. We look at some very few but important rules that we need to follow anytime we want to use prepositions. We say the first thing is that every preposition is followed by a noun and not a verb. So prepositions in sentences are followed by nouns and not the verb. So anytime a preposition is followed by a verb, it is no more a preposition, because prepositions are always and should always be followed by a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. The second rule that we looked at is a prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a prepositional object. A prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a prepositional object. Now, in this context where we say a preposition's object refers to either a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. A preposition's object refers to either a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. Now, we then look at the third thing, that a subject of the sentence cannot be part of the preposition. The subject of the sentence cannot be part of the preposition. So in forming or using group of words as prepositions, the subject of the sentence cannot be part of the preposition. We again proceed to look at verbs cannot form part of a prepositional phrase. So in forming a prepositional phrase, a verb cannot be part of a prepositional phrase. A verb cannot be part of a prepositional phrase. These are the few but very important things that we looked at last week. Now today I would like to briefly take you to some very important elements that you need to understand in our understanding and use of the preposition. There are some few but very important linguistic facts about preposition that I want you to understand. Now, this will help us to really appreciate the role and the importance of preposition in sentences. It will really help us to appreciate and understand the important role of this small class of words play in sentences. The first fact that you need to understand is that prepositions are closed class of words. Prepositions are closed class of words. Now, what it means is that we have limited number of prepositions, and there are no new prepositions that are added to the English language. We have just limited number of prepositions, and there are no new prepositions that are added to the English language. So we have fixed, they are fixed. There's nothing new. The second thing, or the second fact about prepositions that you need to understand, is that prepositions do not have any form. When we talk about prepositions, they do not have any form. So we cannot have preposition being maybe a plural, preposition being singular, preposition being possessive, preposition being in the past, preposition being in the future. There's no form for preposition. They don't have any form. It is very, very important that we don't have the past tense of in, we don't have the past tense of at, we don't have the future form of into. They do not have any form. They do not have any form. It is very, very important to know. They do not have any other form. The way they are, that is how it is. They cannot be plural, they cannot be singular, they cannot be possessive, they cannot be inflexive, or they cannot be any other form. That is the second thing that you need to understand about preposition. The third thing that you need to understand is that most prepositions have many different contextual and natural uses. Prepositions have different contextual and natural uses. So we don't have prepositions that are limited to only a particular class. A particular word serving as a preposition can serve as another word with a different meaning depending on the context in which you are using it. Depending on the context in which you are using it. So it is very important to know that most prepositions have different contextual and natural uses. They have different contextual and natural uses. So it's very important to pay attention to that. So we don't have maybe a specific word that's it. This particular word is only limited to this particular thing, especially when we are dealing with prepositions. Now, the fourth thing that you need to understand about prepositions is that some prepositions works as nouns, adjectives, or adverbs in sentences. Some prepositions works as nouns, adjectives, or adverbs in sentences. It is very, very important to take notice of that. That sometimes a preposition can serve as a noun. It can again serve as an adjective. Sometimes it serves as an adverb in a sentence. So building on the previous points that I made, where I said prepositions can be used differently in contextual and natural uses. So building on this case. Now, there is important thing that you know that there are many prepositions, just as I said, about 150 of them, but we only use 70 of them. And the common prepositional phrases that we use are simple because of, in case of, instead of, by way of, on behalf of, on account of, in care of, in spite of. All these are what we call a preposition or a phrasal preposition. Somebody would then ask me, what is a phrasal preposition? Now, a phrasal preposition is the combination of two or more words. A combination of two or more words, a preposition, and other words form what we call a phrasal preposition. So with this understanding, we can then deduce from this point that a preposition can be one word, a preposition can be two words, a preposition can be more than two words. A preposition can be one word, it can be two words, or even more words. Now, anytime prepositions are more than one, anytime prepositions are more than one, they form what we call a phrasal preposition. They form what we call a phrasal preposition. So a phrasal preposition is a more than one preposition serving as a unit. More than one preposition serving as a unit. And we look at some few examples of them as because of, in case of, instead of, by way of, on behalf of, on account of, in care of, in spite of, etc. It is very, very important. Now, this leads us to what we want to look at today, basically the types of preposition. So coming back to our main lesson for today, which is the types of preposition. Basically, there are 6 types of preposition. Basically, there are 6 types of preposition. The first one is what we refer to as a simple preposition. The first type of preposition is what we refer to as a simple preposition. Now, when a preposition consists of one word, when a preposition consists of just one word, that particular preposition is referred to as a simple or a single preposition. So prepositions consisting of just one word is referred to as a simple or a single preposition. Some examples of single or simple prepositions are in, which is just one word, at, which is just one word, to, which is just one word, for, one word, from, one word, after, one word, over, under, with, and till. All these words are what we refer to as single prepositions because they consist of just one word. I want to take it again so that you really appreciate and understand what I'm trying to say. We're saying that there are basically 6 main types of prepositions. There are 6 basic types of preposition. The first one is what we refer to as a simple or a single preposition. When we say a single or a simple preposition, is a preposition that consists of just one word. A preposition that consists of just one word. So such a preposition is what we refer to as a single preposition. And we have some examples to be in, which is one word, at, which is one word, to, which is one word, for, which is one word, after, which is one word, over, which is one word, under, which is one word. So all these group of words form what we call a single preposition. They form what we call a single preposition. Now, the second type of preposition is what we refer to as a double preposition. A double preposition. That is the second type of preposition. It's what is known as a double preposition. Now, when a preposition consists of more than one word, when a preposition consists of more than one word, such a preposition is referred to as a double preposition. When a preposition consists of more than one word, such a preposition is referred to as a double preposition. For example, into. So when you take the word into, it consists of two words, more than one, in and to. in, and to. That forms one word, into. And this particular word is what we refer to as a double preposition because it's made up of more than one word. Another example is within. Within. Within is made up of two words, with and in, coming together. So once we have with, which is one word, and in, another word, coming together, double words, this forms what we call a double preposition. Another example is up to. Up to. So the preposition up to is also made up of two words, up and to. Up one word, to another word, coming together to form up to. So this particular classes of words or classes of prepositions, we refer to them as a double preposition. A double preposition. Now the third type of preposition is what is known as the compound preposition. A compound preposition. A compound preposition. Now compound preposition consists of two or more words. More than two words consist or made up what is known as a compound preposition. So when we talk of a compound preposition, it is made up of more than two words. It is made up of more than two words. So for example, on behalf of, on behalf of, three words, on, behalf, and of. These three words come together to form a preposition, and this type of preposition is what we refer to as a compound preposition because it is made up of more than two words. It is made up of more than two words. Another example is in front of. In front of. In, one word, front, another word, of, another word, three words. So when these three words come together to form one phrasal preposition, we call this particular type of preposition as a compound preposition. It is very important to note that we have so far looked at another types of prepositions, a single or a simple preposition. Where we say a single or a simple preposition consists of just one word, where we have examples to be in, at, on, after, over, under. Then we proceed to look at the second type of preposition, which is known as a double preposition. Which is known as a double preposition. We say a double preposition consists of two words. A double preposition consists of two words. We look at some examples of a double preposition to be into. Where we say into consists of two words, in and to. In and to, two words. We look at another example to be within. Within, which consists of two words, with and in. With and in. And then we look at the third example to be unto. Unto, which consists of on and to. On and to. So these two classes of words coming together form what is known as the double preposition. And the third type of preposition that we looked at is what is known as the compound preposition. A compound preposition. We say a compound preposition consists of more than two words. It consists of more than two words. Consists of more than two words. We looked at examples to be on behalf of. On behalf of. So on behalf of. Three words, which is more than two. Then in front of. In front of, which is also more than two words. Now, when these three words or this group of words or class of words come together to form a preposition, we refer to such a preposition as a compound preposition. On this note, we will be bringing today's session to an end. It is very important that you need to constantly practice, 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 and practice. And as always, I want to encourage you to like, comment, and share the links with your friends and your family. The benefit you are deriving, it's equally important that you share such a benefit with your friends and family. So then I want to encourage you, as most importantly, it is never too late and it is never too early to start speaking. All that you need to do is to take it from the very beginning, from where we started from, on under the part of speech where we looked at now to this very moment, preposition. If you keenly follow all that you've been doing, I can assure you that as of now, you should be able to make meaningful sentences. Till then, I wish you the very best of the day. Enjoy your week, continue practicing, send in your comment, and have a lovely day. Remember, with grammar, you will speak better. Bye-bye.